I mean, we're looking for heart. We're looking for something that grabs your emotions in a real way that you can connect to when you're watching it. So it's not just about a sport. You're actually seeing these individuals and what their story is. And so that was a main thing, was following 4 racers and following their personal journey and what this sport does to them, what it inspires them to be, and how that inspires other people.
This is the Cinematography for Actors podcast.
More than a podcast, Cinematography for Actors is a vibrant community devoted to bridging the gap between talent and crew. Each week, our show offers transparent, insightful conversations with industry leaders. We unveil the magic behind the scenes, from candid discussions about unique filmmaking processes to in-depth technical exploration. Join us in unraveling the intricacies of filmmaking, one episode at a time. It's more than just cameras and lenses. We aim to inspire, educate, and empower as we peel back the curtain on the art of effective storytelling. Now on to the episode. Hello, welcome back to another special episode of the Cinematography for Actors podcast. I'm your host, Haley Royal. We're at Mammoth Film Festival. We are back again with EP Michael Schilf, EP Chase Kuker. We're really excited to have you guys back today.
Good to be here.
And we're extra excited to have Brittan and DJ Kilpatrick, who are both athletes, writers, directors, producers, and the lead talent for Ice Cross, Life on the Edge. I just learned that this is a sport, and they all tried to explain it to me, and I've actually loved the way you did it. So please try again to tell me what this is, because it sounds dangerous and it sounds scary, and I know that you are in hockey gear. You have to be fully protected to do this. And it's on a hill. Is it icy or is it snowy?
Oh, it's icy. It is. Well,
Okay.
some of the races are icy. Some of them are, depending on weather, can be a little snowy. But
Okay,
for the most part, it's a track made of ice, and it's downhill, and there's different features and jumps and things like that. And you're wearing hockey gear to an extent. A lot of people modify it and stuff. And,
Right.
And yeah, you just race against 3 other athletes down a hill, 4 guys going to war. And there's a lot of carnage.
So this is dangerous for you guys who are choosing to do this. But then, how are you shooting this so that now we can watch it in Ice Cross Life on the Edge?
Well, we had 4 guys running all over the track at all times.
Running all over in skates on the icy track?
Oh, no.
Running
Running down the ski hill and up the ski hill to get different shots. We didn't have a huge crew with this. It was a bare bones crew.
Okay.
So our guys were doing the best they could do and cover as many sections of the track as they could. But it was a challenge, no doubt about it. But we're right next to the track, and sometimes standing on the track where it is not recommended.
Sometimes in the middle of the track, middle of the finish line, DJ's standing there with the camera, and people are just ripping by him. I'm like, are you supposed to be standing there right now? Are you supposed to be standing in the middle of the track while we're racing?
But you
they
just
gotta
get kind of
shot.
you
Gotta get the shot.
locked in.
Anything for the shot. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So what were you shooting on? Do you guys know?
We had a red. We had
Red
2
Komodo.
Sonys, and I don't know what
a bunch of GoPros.
a whole lot of
GoPros.
GoPros and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
drones. Yeah,
Honestly, sometimes GoPro's the way to go.
I think we had some Insta360 shots or GoPro 360 shots.
And some beautiful drone shots.
Yes, the drone shots are incredible.
Okay.
This guy right here was the proponent for all the drone shots. We would be like so cold and miserable, and he would be like, all right, we got to get outside and get another drone shot. And our videographers were like, we've already gotten this drone shot. And he's like, nope, this sets the scene, sets the mood here. We got to do it again. And it turned out to be one of the most important shots throughout the entire film. It sets the scene for it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then DJ, you are doing voiceover, narrating, you're telling the story. When does this process happen? Is it after everything's shot, or you're doing it during? When are you finding time for this?
Yeah, that's a good question. Time was not on our side. So when the editor was editing the doc and we were writing out the script on what, was going to be said and what I was going to say, I basically just filmed myself on a cell phone, sent it to him, and I was like, do what you can with this.
Okay.
And then we got it down to like a final version, a locked version of what I was actually going to say. And then we got myself in the studio and recorded it there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because we didn't know what the story was going to be because it's all real. So we filmed the entire thing, and then we're like, okay, we have to find the storyline in this. And then everything that he talks about is like connecting the storyline together.
And that's kind of how we came in, because, I met Brittan through DJ, and DJ, I brought him on as a producer on one short we did, and he like caught the bug and was like, I want to do this. And so what we did in the beginning was help kind of shape a narrative with these guys and like make sure to be aware of this. All these things are going to be happening. You're out there shooting a doc, you're meeting people, you're getting these interviews. So that just to be aware of these things to make sure to get it to find an opportunity for this story.
Yeah, what are you looking for when you see all of this footage and what are you looking for to be able to shape a narrative?
I mean, we're looking for heart. We're looking for something that grabs your emotions in a real way that you can connect to when you're watching it. So it's not just about a sport. You're actually seeing these individuals and what their story is. And so that was a main thing, was following 4 racers and following their personal journey and what this sport does to them, what it inspires them to be, and how that inspires other people. And that's kind of why this movie is very special, is because you get to know these 4 guys, and then you get to know kind of him as he's narrating too. And it's really cool.
Yeah. I think everybody has a story, and it's the interviewer's job to pull that story out. So be very curious, ask all the questions that you can. And then how can you relate that story to the audience? How can you relate that story to everybody else? So that's what we tried to do.
Right.
Yeah, and he found his calling as an interviewer. I mean, I think one of our athletes referred to him as Barbara Walters afterwards.
Oh,
It was
well,
it was very impressive. I didn't expect anything less, but it was like he's truly found his calling with this.
Do you think you're going to move forward with a career in interviewing?
Yeah.
We have some exciting news. CFA has teamed up with We Make Movies to get you a discount on production management services, including access to comprehensive production insurance and workers' comp for your next shoot. Visit wemakemovies.org/insurance and use code CFA23 on your intake form for 10% off your quote.
The doors for Ice Cross are just beginning to open. So the sky's the limit with this sport, not just the documentary. This documentary was just the beginning.
You guys think you're going to try any ice cross?
I mean, yeah, I want to go do it. I'm not that great about it, a skater, but I'm
You
afraid.
have to know how to ice skate.
I know.
No, I'm afraid that I'm gonna beat all these guys. So
The confidence.
He's my business partner. I don't want him to go do it because I don't want to be embarrassed.
The confidence that Michael has is something, and Chase as well, that at the very beginning we had never actually met Michael, and one of the first meetings that we jumped on a Zoom call, and they were basically like, there's going to be a whole lot of times when you do not know what the fuck you're doing, but if you have the confidence and you believe that you're doing something with purpose, then it's going to turn out how you want it. And we kept that the whole way. And I mean, they were crucial in this. I mean, we were the ones that were traveling and there for the whole shoot.
Yeah, they were doing it all.
yeah, they did 99% of the work, really. Okay, but we were instrumental because what we did, we came on as EPs, but also as story consultants. So it was our job to help them build a really solid foundation, but they had to build the house. Right. Okay, they had to do the rough carpentry and the electrical and the drywall and the Spanish tiles and everything. But it's a wonderful thing that they built because of starting with something solid.
Yeah, without that foundation, the whole thing would have crumbled for sure.
Because we didn't know what we were doing. This was our first film, a passion project to help a sport survive. It was kind of on the brink of extinction. And so we took the reins there and said, you know what, it's more than a film. If we can make something great, let's do it. But let's do our best to keep this sport alive.
Was this the idea from the get-go? Or were you just getting footage because it was cool and you were hoping, or did you know from the beginning you wanted to build a documentary with a story, with a heart that would influence people?
Yes, yeah. From the beginning of whenever we came, actually it was DJ living with Chase for a bit, and they were actually working on Tracing the Divide, and we had shot some things around Ice Cross and done some like vlog style stuff, and we had done some like episodic YouTube type stuff and just anything to promote the sport and things like that. And yeah, Chase was working on Tracing the Divide with Michael, and DJ saw it and he was like, well, I got something for you.
Yeah,
he showed
like,
him Ice Cross.
Well, wait, we can do this for that. And he told me about it, and I was like, sweet, let's set you guys up like with just an outline of how to approach this. and they're probably looking back on it like that sounded easy.
I
It's
don't think
not.
at any point we thought
No,
it sounded
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
I think it was a lot of blind confidence of like we can do this.
Which
Let's
you
just-
have to have.
Yeah,
That's the only
like-
way to be a filmmaker is like to have that blind confidence, but
yeah,
your team.
and really just being a part, like being involved and being present in the journey, and not so much worrying about like the moment we're at now. We're like, okay, the film's done. It still doesn't even feel real to me that it's done. So it's like we're just taking it day by day and enjoying the process, and that's the way to live life, and that's the way to do something like this.
They got to experience what the process of post is.
Right.
That part maybe we underestimated a little bit, and our editor
just a little bit.
Yeah, our editor was unbelievable. He's one of the videographers as well, Lucas, and he's in the Czech Republic, so the times were a little bit weird for us, so we weren't getting a ton of sleep during it.
Yeah.
But he was incredible. I mean, everyone involved with the film was incredible, and everyone in the sport helped out so much, and people outside of the sport, and the support that we got was, I think that was one of the most surprising things. When our first weekend on traveling and filming for the first race, people were like, what the hell are y'all doing? We have cameras everywhere. We're filming everything. And some of the other athletes are like, what is this? And then like 2 or 3 days in, they were like, oh, here we go. Like, you guys are doing something cool here. And then they all wanted to be a part of it. And by the end, people were like, how can I be in the film? How can I support?
And they were letting me on the track.
Yeah. And then, exactly.
And you're going to save their hobby. So you're heroes now. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
We have to wrap this up. Sadly, would love to do this for an hour. Thank you so much for sitting with us.
Thank you.
Ice cross. Keep the very dangerous sport alive.
Right.
Thank you very
Rocking.
much, guys.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us in bridging the gap between talent and crew. Start by subscribing on your preferred podcast platform, sign up for our newsletter to stay up to date on vendor discounts, community events, and new podcast releases, and educate yourself through our free course releases on YouTube. It all starts at cinematographyforactors.com. And if you like this episode, consider leaving a review to make it easier for other listeners to find us.